What up? Homeless Jabroni. The Jabroni God. It is, past midnight. Holy shit. I'm gonna get to bed maybe around 2 a.m. Holy fuck. Alright. Free you boo act, whatever the fuck. You know I don't keep track of this shit. Okay, so Death of X issue 2 came out. I know that sounded pretty fast, considering, like, I uploaded, the episode for the review of issue 1, like, maybe 2 days ago, but, fuck it, but, issue 2 came out today, and, well, it's not even today anymore. It came out yesterday. It is now Wednesday, but it came out yesterday, so it's a bi-weekly series, and it's mainly high drama. But before we get to Death of X, issue number 2, the issues that I'm going to be talking about tonight, I'm going to be talking about Death of X issue number 2. I'm going to be talking about Infamous Iron Man number 1, because holy shit, Doom Iron Man. And we're going to be talking about Dark Knight Returns Part 3, issue 6. So, and the reason I want to talk about that is because it's fucking ridiculous. But we'll save Death of X issue number 2 for the last. But we'll just before we'll save issue 2 for last. Like that shit I was saying before and earlier. We'll get to all that. Since it's the last book that I read out of these 3, we'll start with DK3 issue number 6 first. So now, if you like a lot of fucking people, I'm sure, as soon as you heard Frank Miller's name associated with fucking anything, you just fucking turn the other way. And you're absolutely a sane person to do so. I like pain and torture. I like suffering. That's why I picked this book up. And contrary to popular belief, this book is actually not that bad. People are like, oh, this, that. This book is just suffering from a case of being mildly okay. Like, if I had to rate the DK3 series overall, it's like a 65 out of 100. It's no DK2. It's not I forgot what it was called, Dark Knight Strikes Back or whatever the fuck it was. It's not part 2. Jesus Christ, it's not part 2. But it's fairly awesome. Like, Adam Kubert is basically going out of his way to mimic Frank Miller's style, which is just the fact that it's not Adam, it's Andy. My bad. It should be Andy. Let me take a quick check at the issue. Fuck, now I gotta open the shit up. Give me 1 second. Yep, it's pencils by Andy Kubert. So yeah, it's Andy. I like Adam Kubert better. To me, Adam is more I don't know, he does more grit. If you've ever read Origin 2, not Wolverine Origin, but just Origin 2, it's a Wolverine story, and it's the pencils are done by Adam Kubert, and if you see his art, it's fucking savagery, man. It's awesome. It's like highly detailed anime art, very bright, vibrant colors. I love the way he draws blood and gore. Very, very vibrant, and he gives life, so to speak, to blood and gore. But I digress. It's Andy Kubert on the pencils for the DK3 series, and honestly, he does a very good job of mimicking Frank Miller's art from way back when. Now, this series, it's pretty interesting, right? Because the whole premise of the series is basically, if I could sum up the plot, it's Superman and Wonder Woman have a kid. Superman has basically fucked off to exile. He's like a frozen whatever the fuck. He's like a frozen statue in like the Fortress of Solitude, or I believe that's where they find him. This book has been riddled with delays. So forgive me if I have memory lapses when it comes to this series. Like it's like, the last issue that came out with this was like fucking 3 months ago, man. Like, but Superman is like fucked off, and he's fucked off himself to exile, and he's like a frozen statue or whatever. But the reason he gets thawed out by Carrie Kelly and Batman, Bruce Wayne, is because their daughter, Superman and Wonder Woman's daughter, Lara, she she goes to the Atom with the city of Kandor to find a way to make the city of Kandor, the people within it, to make the Kryptonians within it normal size, normal size. I don't know what was the whole motivation for Lara to do so. I forgot if it was stated. Again, for fucking give me. If it wasn't stated, that's just a bad story. That's just bad on her part, on characterization part. But as soon as the Atom, he grows this. He doesn't grow. He doesn't make the city of Kandor big. What he does is he takes the people within it. He takes the Kryptonians within it, and he makes them big. He makes them normal size. Problem with that is they're an evil religious cult, and the leader of this evil religious cult, Quar, Quar, he wants to sort of he wants the human population to sort of bow down to him and sort of like worship him and his Kryptonian people as gods. Because truth be under the yellow rays of the sun, they're basically gods among men. They're gods among the human beings. And one of the things they sort of do is to try to implement their godliness is that they basically say, Quar, he's like, yo, you have XYZ amount of time to basically give up Batman. If Batman turns himself over to us or some shit like that, well, we won't fucking destroy you or some shit like that. But basically Batman takes the fight to them. He releases kryptonite up in the ozone layer or some shit. And this is where we get to the actual issue. This is a very shitty paraphrasing of the series. I'm sorry, but he releases kryptonite into the atmosphere, and it's basically kryptonite rain. It's kryptonite raining all over these Kryptonians. So but it was some weird synthetic kryptonite. So these dudes were still strong, but they were still severely weakened. Well, they weren't in pain or anything, but their powers were nullified. So it was weird. This weird synthetic kryptonite, this man. I don't know. I believe on Krypton, kryptonite is a natural resource. They sort of use it to power rocket engines and shit. Kryptonite is a very powerful resource. It's in of itself. I think it's a natural resource, but somehow, some way, Batman, I guess he recreated it, but a synthetic man-made version. I don't know. But it's the issue starts off with green rain on everybody, and Superman, he gets his own super suit to sort of protect them from the kryptonite rain. So him and Batman, they're basically going to work and fucking everybody up. And the Sons of Batman, that little terrorist organization that sort of follows him around or whatever the fuck, they bring out a whole bunch of heavy artillery, and they start aiming it at Quar, the leader, and he's like, I'm Quar, you will kneel before me. It's basically some Zod shit. Yeah, you are all beneath me, blah blah blah, and he's just getting fucking smoked with rocket launchers, all types of shit. He's getting fucking smoked. And within this issue, what this whole series has been about, well, not been about, but a long-standing thing since the first issue, is what they'll do is Brian Azzarello and I believe this is how it goes. I know it was stated that Brian Azzarello does most of the issue story work. And Miller, he basically does overall story. He gives Azzarello overall story, and he lets basically Azzarello run shit, issue to issue. But there's usually a mini issue inside which would be drawn by Miller. And Brian Azzarello's name would be on it too, but I'm not sure, how much of his involvement would be in it. In the first issue was very solid, the little mini issue that was inside, because it was an Atom issue, and it was really, really dope. It was really, really dope. I really enjoyed that, but the mini books inside haven't been much great. They haven't been great. Out past that first issue. There was a Green Lantern one which was just what the fuck. But oh my god, I'm thinking about. I blocked this one from memory, but there was a mini book inside. It was a Batgirl issue. It was a Carrie Kelly Batgirl mini issue, and it was basically Carrie Kelly trying to get to safety to find Aquaman, and it oh my god, it has some of the worst art I have ever seen on a comic. It's pretty up there. This was produced by DC Comics people. Like I urge you, if you know any comic book websites, that would let you view, scanlations. Scanlations. I'm thinking this is fucking manga fucking chapters, but any scans, if you know any websites, go look it up, and just look through the DK3 series until you get to the Batgirl mini issue that's inside. Oh my god, some of the art is just the worst shit that you could ever imagine. And then when Carrie Kelly gets away from this crowd that's trying to beat her ass, she makes her way to Aquaman, and oh Jesus Christ, it's so bad. There's this thing that Aquaman is writing, and I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know what it is. Lord help me. I don't know if it's a whale or a hammerhead shark. There's this anglerfish that comes out of nowhere and tries to just attack Aquaman out of nowhere. I'm like, what? Frank Miller, did you just want to draw that, Frank? Did you just want to draw that? Frankie, I love you. I love Sin City. I love the first DK. I love it. But Jesus Christ, Frank. But yeah, Frank has just lost his shit. But anyway, this current issue, it was actually pretty solid. It's the art pretty solid. Most of the Kryptonians get their asses handed to them, the ones from the city of Kandor, and some of them are sent packing. This mini issue, the mini book that was inside this one, was basically Wonder Woman and her daughter Lara fighting each other. And it was still pretty shittily drawn by Miller, but it's a kind of shitty where I can enjoy it. It wasn't there was no enjoyment to be had out of that Carrie Kelly Batgirl issue. There was none. This one, it was enjoyable, but Frank Miller has this really weird way of drawing Lara, Superman and Wonder Woman's daughter, where her legs are always, even though she's flying and she's in midair, her legs are always sort of folded, like she's kneeling in midair. And I don't know why he draws her like that, but he just always draws her like that, and it's really fucking weird. I don't know, Frank Miller is a weird motherfucker, man. He's lost his marbles a long fucking time ago, along with all the niggas that were very popular in the 90s. McFarlane, Liefeld, fucking Jim Lee's the only one that came out unscathed. Jim Lee is still good. But the only insane thing about that nigga is that he keeps adding fucking lines to everything. That's why he can never fucking put shit out on a proper timetable. But this issue wasn't bad at all, actually. It was actually pretty solid. My biggest criticism of DK3 is that it took way too long for this to happen. It took way too long for the plot to actually get moving. And it's pretty interesting because from the way I don't know why this series is going on as long as it is. I believe it's supposed to have 8 parts. You could have shortened this to 6. We're on the 6th issue now, and spoilers, the very last panel, we see Quar being carried away after he got fucked the entire issue by his associates, and he does heat vision on Bruce, and it goes through his suit, and like it looks like it might have killed him, and we see like the heart line, like the like that you would see hooked up to, like what's that shit called, an EKG. But we see like that line being drawn on the page to illustrate that his heart is giving away. But you know, basically he dies in Superman's arms, and he's like, Clark, oh my god, no hospitals, promise me. And Clark's like, alright, no hospitals. And like Bruce is like, tell Carrie, you know, this and that. You know, and my second biggest criticism of DK3 is, why in the fuck is Bruce Wayne still alive? I mean, for God's sakes, this nigga was old in the first Dark Knight Returns. Why is he still alive and doing Batman shit? Why is he still doing Batman shit? Like, yo, the nigga, like, this nigga is he's just a giant muscle. He's still brolic as all shit, and he's like fucking 80. He's just one giant tumorous muscle. Like, why the fuck is he still breathing all that muscle? How is that nigga? How like, that nigga probably has arthritis out the fucking wazoo. Like, how can he enjoy himself? How does he not feel like yo, this nigga should have been dead a long time ago? And that's one of my biggest problems with alternate reality Batmans or Bruce Waynes, is that he's always alive to like the fucking bitter end. And I'm like, yo, can we stop? Can we really stop? Like, yo, let Carrie be Batgirl or Bat whatever the fuck and take up the mantle. You know, like, come on, son. But that's how the issue ends. And honestly, there's not much to say. What happens in the issue happens in the issue. It ain't really, you know, something. And that's probably the most interesting thing about the series is how uninteresting it is. It really is. Like, objectively, it's like, again, it's above average. It's like, it's okay. There's promise here, you know, but it's nothing spectacular. Again, this whole shit was dragged out way much more than it should have been. This whole City of Kandor shit, this could have been wrapped up and done in 6 issues. I don't know why, you know, it's going past that, but hey, DC and Frank Miller need to make their money somehow. So, or better yet, they need to fucking rob us of our money somehow. So there's that. So next issue, fucking Infamous Iron Man. Oh boy. Okay, alright. So Infamous Iron Man, right? It starts off with a scene from like that took place realistic in Marvel Universe time years ago, the Dark Reign, when Norman Osborn ran the world and Hammer was a thing. You know, there was no Shield, it was Hammer. So it shows a scene from then. So they're all waiting on Norman Osborn to show up, and it's Namor, Emma Frost, female Loki, which is actually in reality Lady Sif, but it's female Loki. Well, it's Loki in the body of Lady Sif. Let's make it easy that way. The Hood and Doctor Doom. So they're all waiting on Norman Osborn to show up. And Namor is just being a dick, because again, he's basically Vegeta. Namor is just basically fucking Vegeta, and he's saying Vegeta like shit. Namor was like, oh, where the fuck is Osborn? Namor waits on no one. Why is he making me wait? And Emma Frost is just like, dude, shut the fuck up, like shut up, you know. And whatchamacallit. So Parker Robbins, the Hood, he's fairly new to the game. You know, if you don't know who the Hood is, he's basically a dude. He's a gangster that wears the cloak, some kind of a cloak that's affiliated with Dormammu. It's basically it's what gives him his mystical abilities. He's pretty interesting with this cloak. It allows him to walk on air, like legit walk on air, and he carries around 2 9mm. It's pretty gangster as fuck. You know, it's pretty fucking gangster. But I like the thing with this cloak has been changed from time to time. Originally, you know, the magic powers that he had, you know, it was through Dormammu, and every time he used it, he would become more and more possessed by Dormammu. So that's how it was when he first was around. And then, you know, he lost his abilities when they like fucking sealed, you know, Dormammu away from him. And then he got his hands on the Norn Stones, and then, you know, he eventually lost the Norn Stones. But then he just became a real, like, when he showed up recently in the Illuminati series by Joshua Williamson, it was really, I really liked it, because he was just back to who he was. He wasn't doing the airwalk again. Again, that's the coolest shit about the Hood, honestly. Like, doing an airwalk while shooting that's cool as fuck. I'm sorry, that's cool as fuck. Like, I'm sorry, like if I had no abilities in the Marvel universe, let's say I got this cloak and it's like, listen, you'll get this cloak and no ramifications. If you get this cloak, you can just legit walk on air. And if I could legit walk on air and they're like, yo, here's 2 9mm, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. But the coolest thing I appreciated about the Hood's gang way back when the Dark Reign was popular was establishing some kind of community for criminals. Like, he would really look out for the criminals, like Pile Driver. He was a big, like, dudes from the Wrecking Crew, Controller, just a lot of like D-list fucking villains were a part of his crew. So, you know, a lot of these dudes, they looked out for each other. Like, if niggas got locked, he would come personally to bail them out. And Shocker was a part of the crew. So I really appreciated the Hood's crew. I really did. Because it was something we haven't really seen before. Like, with the Kingpin usually, he ran his shit with like an iron fist, you know. Kingpin, he's the type of dude that like really instills fear in you and type of shit like that. Whereas the Hood, it's like, don't get me wrong, the Hood's not a dude to be fucked with, but at the same time, it's like, nah, nigga, we take care of our own. So that's why, now knowing all that about the Hood, it's really interesting how they play, because again, he's a newbie, but again, the Hood's no slouch, he's no dumbass. He steps to Doom. He's like, yo, Doom, let me ask you a question, right? So, did you really, like, did your mom really get, like, abducted by demons, and you actually beat the demon that abducted your mom? You actually won against a demon? So, you know, in the page, Doom's he's just grilling Parker Robinson. And, you know, Emma Frost, she's just looking at the Hood. She's like, yo, you should pick up on the social cue. You're gonna get fucked if you don't shut the fuck up. And the Hood is just like, but nah, I'm dead ass though. Like, I legit have a question. First of all, Doom, I'm your fucking biggest fan. That's number one. Number two, the fact that you even managed to do that shit. That shit is practically unheard of among, like, spellcasters that's, like, affiliated with any of, like, the Hell realms in the Marvel universe. So, like, that's pretty, like, the Hood was fascinated. So he was like, so let me ask you this, what the fuck drives you? You have more wealth than anybody in this, like, fucking table. You have way more than all of them combined. Plus, you rule a country. You know, it can't be power because you beat a demon. Like, so what brings you here? What drives you? And Doom, he just, with the wave of his hand, he fucking zaps the Hood, and everybody is like, yo, what the fuck? And, like, Emma Frost is like, yo, did you kill him? He's like, nah, I just sent him to India. He'll be back. He'll be alright. and the female Loki is just like, yeah, fuck, I wish you killed him. And that's how that scene ends. And it's really interesting because that's a great question. What the fuck does drive Doom? You know, a lot of the time, if this was Fantastic Four, it would be to prove that I'm better than Reed Richards. But it was great to see Doom frustrated. You could tell Doom was frustrated. He really didn't have an answer. That's most likely why he zapped the Hood away. The Hood stumped Dr. Doom. And that's pretty interesting. He's like, yo, what drives you? Like, well, why are you even here right now? Like, you some upper tier god level ass nigga. Like, yo, like we're a bunch of scrubs compared to you, dog. Like, why are you here? Like, that's a great question, and I find that's a great way to start off the series. Now, here's where we get into the problem, and it's not a problem with the issue itself. It's more of a problem with how Marvel is being run right now. See, the thing is, the way Marvel is being run right now is a lot of their events is, well, not a lot, I can't even say a lot, like just in recent years, it's just Civil War 2 and Secret Wars. It's just these two events back to back, super delayed to the point where the new series that they had planned to come out with after the series, they just release it when the mini series is still going on. I'm like, yeah, they're like, yeah, fuck it. And with Secret Wars, it's like, oh yeah, so basically nothing fucking matters because everything goes back, relatively back to normal. Everything doesn't go back to normal, but it's sort of just like flies in the face and takes away a lot of what makes the main event, just what it is. On top of that, it's just bad planning on Marvel's part, because how the fuck don't you know how many issues you need to do a series? First of all, this podcast isn't meant to be a criticism of Secret Wars, but a big or an attack on Secret Wars. I love the event overall and think it did more good than bad, but I would be remiss if I didn't criticize the fact that how the fuck don't you know how many numbers of issues you need for a miniseries beforehand? Now, my thing is, for a series that covered the scope of things like Secret Wars did, it should have been a 12-issue mini. Avengers vs. X-Men got 12 issues. The most fanboy-tastic series ever. And people say it's terrible, and to their credit, it probably is. To me, I fucking love it. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. I can't even call it bad. Like, I can't even call it bad. I'm so biased when it comes to Avengers vs. X-Men because it's so fanboy. Iron Man builds a fucking Gundam and shoots it at the Phoenix Force. That's amazing. But anyway, Avengers vs. X-Men got 12 issues. Secret Wars originally got 8, and Jonathan Hickman and he tried to spin it in a way where it would sound really fucking cool, which got me tight personally. He's like, oh yeah, the scope of Secret Wars is just so big, so we just had to add another issue, because the scope was just so big, man. It's a huge story, and I'm just like, nigga, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. I was like, first of all, you really just from the way the event started. The first issue it's nothing like the rest of the series. The first issue focuses on so many different kingdoms and so many different places, and for the rest of the series, it mainly focuses on God Doom, and I'm like, this is fucked. And I'm just like, come on, son, and Assad Ribic, your ass was taking mad long. I'm like, yo, Marvel, what you doing over there? What your ass with all them delays? And now we got, I believe, David Marquez is his name, the artist for Civil War 2, and now I fucking love his art. To me, it might even be better than Assad Ribic. Now, mind you, I love Assad Ribic. His art was great for Thor: God of Thunder. Fan-fucking-tastic. It set the tone for the epic that series was. If you haven't read Thor: God of Thunder by Jason Aaron and Assad Ribic, you need to get your ass on that series, because that series is literally god tier. It's literally one of the best Thor stories. As a matter of fact, I would say it's the best Thor series of all time. I'm gonna keep it straight up with you. Like, it's one of the best Thor series of all fucking time. There's nothing better than that. Like, even Simonson fucking Thor series, dude, like, or you know, Journey into Mystery Stories. Like, no, Thor God of Thunder is that crack, son. You need to read that shit. But Secret Wars, like Assad Ribic's art style, like, it's great, but it has a time and place. But David Marquez, I could always look at his art. Like, his art on Civil War 2, it's so comic booky. I love it. And again, the vibrant colors, like, I love that. It's so comic booky. I wish we could see him in more, to tell you the truth. I would love to see him do more Inhuman work, work on Inhumans titles. I would just love to see him do more work in general. I haven't seen this dude before. I think he to Tink. I just turned fucking Caribbean for a minute. But to think that, like, he might be a newbie. Like, if he's a straight up newbie, I'm gonna be tight, because, like, yo, his first series is Civil War 2 and he's killing it like this. But the thing is, at the time of this recording anyway, you know, his kid was just born, like, I think maybe a month or two ago. So, and his wife was pregnant, so he had to sort of attend to his, you know, fam, and I get you. But it's weird though. Like, it's weird because the series got slowed down hella crazy because of that. You know, it's just sort of weird. It's a weird coincidence that right after Secret Wars, Civil War 2, same exact thing happened. You know, and with all the other series, they basically ran their course with the tie-ins, and they're all moving on. And Infamous Iron Man, this is a title that specifically gives spoilers to what happens in Civil War 2. Now, if you don't want to know, you better turn around, go, leave this place and never come back, because you're about to be spoiled. Like, if you actually give two shits about what happens in Civil War 2, you need to leave and go. But here we go, spoilers incoming. So, Dr. Doom, he basically reveals in the series, in the first issue of Infamous Iron Man, that Tony Stark's life, he dies. He somehow became compromised. We don't know how it happened, but Tony Stark became compromised and he died. So, you know, that happened. He fucking died, and you know, Tony somehow put his AI, his brain patterns in an AI. So we get, like, basically Tony Stark as, like, Jarvis, which is it's an interesting concept to have a Tony Stark AI. You know, that's an interesting concept. And Dr. Doom is picking up where Iron Man left off, and it's really interesting. So let's go through the rest of the issues so I could tell you how each of these plays into each other. So Dr. Doom is basically, the first thing he does in the issue is he goes to Maria Hill because she gets kidnapped by this fucking D-list villain called Diablo, and I haven't seen him since some, like, throwaway issue of Amazing Spider-Man. I vaguely recall seeing this nigga. But basically he was gonna give Maria Hill some truth serum that was, even if she somehow resisted the truth serum, it was gonna cause her a tremendous amounts of pain if she didn't tell the truth. So, and he wanted to know all the, you know, secret authorization passcodes for the Triskelion and the helicarriers and all that shit. He wanted access to WMDs and, you know, the standard, you know. And what he was looking for was basically to become an upper tier villain, because he was feeling jelly that all these other fuck villains is getting, you know, mentions and, you know, names in the spotlight, and, you know, even Mr. Negative got a mention in, like, one of the most, like, crazy domestic terrorist villains or whatever the fuck, and he ain't getting no spotlight, he ain't getting no shine, and he was upset. So he was like, I'm gonna do some crazy shit. Maybe it's because I haven't been active and I haven't been doing enough lately, so time to do some shit. So as Maria Hill is all wound up and gagged up, well, she's not gagged up, but she's bound, and he's about to pour the truth serum down her mouth. Dr. Doom just comes in, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Diablo, you some fuck nigga, I remember your bitch ass." And he's like, "Oh, that voice, I know you, you're Von Doom." He's like, "Yeah, nigga, you remember me? Yeah, I was the nigga that had you fucked up." And he's like, "Alright, what you need? You know what you need? I'm gonna need to fuck your face up again. That's what's gonna humble you." So, and if you don't know, post Secret Wars, Reed Richards, he fixes Dr. Doom's face. How he does that, you'll need to read Secret Wars for, because I'm not gonna waste any more time talking about it. We'll be here all fucking night, and I need to get to bed. But fuck gas. But he fixes Victor Von Doom's face, and in the Invincible Iron Man series, he's basically just been running around helping Tony Stark out, calling Tony Stark a friend, even on some certain occasions. He's just been helping him out, you know, with basically with mystics, mystic arts, not really technology or anything, just the mystic arts. So that's really been interesting. But since it's really interesting because like Doom, he had these like fucking cyber weird metal gloves on, and he just fucking eviscerates Diablo. And you know, he comes and he frees Maria Hill, and he's just like, "Yo, don't worry, Maria, I ain't gonna tell nobody about this shit. I ain't gonna it's gonna be pretty embarrassing if I tell the world or tell whoever that you got captured by this dickhead. So I'm just gonna, you know." And then he like sort of snaps his fingers, and she like all this like goo that she was you know, that was bounding her to the chair disappears, and it's gone, and Maria Hill's just like, "What the fuck? Like what happened?" So it moves on to Amara Williams in her lab. Now who she is she was a romantic interest. She's like an Indian scientist that she was a romantic interest for Tony Stark in the previous Invincible. Is it the previous? Because I don't know if Riri Williams, I don't know if she's gonna take over the series or if she's gonna start a brand new Invincible Iron Man. I believe, I don't know. I don't fucking know. But she was a love interest for Tony Stark in Invincible Iron Man when he was alive. Let's just say that. But and this is where it gets spoiled, that Tony Stark died. And she was like, "Yo, I don't know what to make of that," because Tony, he literally in the volume before Civil War 2, which is called The Road to Civil War, and I've read it, there is fucking nothing that leads it, not even kind of, to Civil War 2. That shit was just on there to fucking sell comics. You're assholes, Marvel. You fucking assholes. I'm like listen, if you were reading Invincible Iron Man, if you legit wanted to know if that was a lead into Civil War 2, it's fucking not. And I highly doubt I'm saving anybody my money by telling anybody this, because I don't know, like fucking 5 people listen to this podcast. But any fucking way, he faked his death in the volume before the Civil War 2 tie-ins. And you know, so Amara, she's just like, "Yo, I know that, you know, there with this superhero shit, this nigga, like, there's no real telling if he's really dead or if he might come back or whatever the fuck." And Dr. Doom's like, no, that nigga dead. It was on live national television. I peeped that shit with my own eyes. That nigga dead. So she's like, alright. And she's like, "Yo, why you here though, fam?" And she's like, "Yo, I want to see." He's like, "Yo, I want to see. You know, I want to follow up on your work with curing Alzheimer's. Like, I want to follow up on that." And she's like, "What?" And somehow, like, the conversation just basically just goes to shit somewhere. Like Doom says something and he just like teleports away. I forget what it was. At this time, you'll have to forgive me. My memory is not the best at like fucking 1:26 a.m. But you know, whatever. But Benjamin Grimm shows up right after Dr. Doom teleports, and he says like, "Yo, are you Amara? Do you knows Dr. Doom? Because I'm Special Agent Ben Grimm for the fucking for SHIELD, you might have heard of me. And the thing is, it's interesting because I believe the last time we hear of Benjamin Grimm, wasn't he a Guardians of the Galaxy member? Now this nigga's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. They just don't know what to do with that nigga, don't they? They're just like, yeah, put Ben Grimm fucking anywhere. He was on the Guardians of the Galaxy. Fuck that nigga. Bendis is leaving that book, so we can do whatever the fuck we want with him. So yeah, they just don't know what to do with that nigga anymore. But yeah, so Benjamin Grimm is looking for Iron Doom. Yeah, that's a nice name. We called amongst my friends, we called Superior Spider-Man Spock. I'm gonna dub this one Iron Doom. But so Iron Doom, he's made an antagonist out of Benjamin Grimm, because on the cover of issue 2 we see them fighting. But after that scene we see Victor Von Doom in Tony Stark's lab, and the Tony AI comes, and the Tony AI comes out, and he's just like, yo, Vic, please get the fuck out of my laboratory. Like, yo, I fucking hate you, but like I could respect you on certain levels. Like, why are you here? Like, anything in this lab you could just make yourself eventually. But here's the thing. We know that Latveria is in civil unrest. Dr. Doom is not the ruler of Latveria anymore. So it's interesting. We don't know what Doom's base of operations is. So it's really interesting. Like, we don't know everything that's going on with that. So I don't know. I read like the first volume of Invincible Iron Man, and then just Road to Civil War 2. So there's a lot that I didn't read when it comes to Invincible Iron Man. So maybe it was expanded upon. I don't know. But Tony is just like, yo, what are you here for? Why are you doing this? And Doom's he's like, yo, I legit need to pick up your mantle. I will be Iron Man. So, but it's like, it's interesting because since when was Iron Man a mantle? Since when the world needs an Iron Man? It's not like a Batman Gotham situation, my guy. It's not like Superman. Like since when? I don't think that's ever been said before. You know why that's being fucking said? The Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's why. What Marvel should have said is, nigga, we need money. The world needs a new Iron Man because we need fucking money. We need fucking money. And even if RDJ died in real life, you can keep Iron Man going for as long as you fucking want to. I mean, at this stage, why would you kill Iron Man? I mean, it's a fair question. Why would you do it? I mean, I guess, coming out of Civil War 2, we need, I mean, somebody had to die, right? Somebody had to fucking die, right? I mean, we already lost Bruce Banner. I'm pretty sure when he comes back, his character will be fucked to all hell, just royally, without no sort of lube at all. So there's that. But Tony, what do you benefit from killing Tony? I don't know. It's interesting. We'll have to see. But we sadly enough, we only get one shot of Doom in his Iron Man armor. It still looks cool though. It still looks cool. It's like sort of like chrome-ish. Let me open up the issue to like sort of describe it. I might use it as thumbnail. I might use another weird fucked up picture for a thumbnail. Who knows? But yeah. So it's like it looks sort of similar to the Superior Iron Man suit. Instead of the blue lights though, it's fucking green lights. And of course, Doom doesn't show his face. He protects the face. But the last page of the issue is just somebody talking to Dr. Doom's mom, and she's in some ominous place. She's like, "Oh, my son is Iron Man now, man." And that's the end of the issue. So the only thing that things are being set up. Things are being set up. We know that Benjamin Grimm is gonna play a role in this series. We know that whatchamacallit, we know that Victor Von Doom's mom is gonna be the larger villain at the end of the day. Now, how much I enjoyed this issue on a scale of 1 to 10? It's a fucking 8. I enjoyed this. I can't wait. It's gonna be up there. The art was great. The story was great. It's Bendis. Bendis is very character driven, and it seems the only thing the only thing that's sort of upsetting me right now is that we're getting more characterization on past Doom more than anything. Like this new Doom, this new lease on or new look on life Doom, we're not getting much of why he wants to do good. We're not getting much of that. The only thing is, like, when he was talking to Indian Doctor Lady Amara, she had previously told them, look, if you truly want to do good, you have to attack it with sort of the same passion and veracity that you were an evil fuck. You have to. That's how hard you have to go if you're trying to be a good guy. So he's like, you right. So like, he's basically, flying off into the world trying to be a good guy. And he, for some reason, like, his motivations are still like weird and unclear, but I'm fucking with it, man. Like I don't, like, to tell you the truth, I don't even fuck with Dr. Doom like that. I don't be reading Fantastic Four like that, but like I respect Doom enough to know what the fuck this means, man. So I'm hyped. Can't wait for the next issue. I recommend it. It's really interesting. Go pick it up. And the last issue of today is good old Death of X, my old friend. So Death of X issue 2. So it's a lot better than the first issue. The first issue was structured very interestingly, because again, it was equal parts Inhuman, mutant. I still feel like it was equal parts. Nah, there was significantly less Inhuman. There was more focus on the mutant. It was more focused mutants on this issue, because they were basically, a lot of it was okay. So the issue starts off with Storm and Medusa having a conversation, and Storm is basically like, yo, with this Terrigen Mist cloud though, like what's good with that? You know this shit is killing like mutants and shit, right? And Medusa's like, what? But it's supposed to be harmless though, like it never harmed mutants before. I'm like, bullshit. Like in the last video description I put down, in the Son of M series, where Quicksilver was powerless and trying to reinstate superpowers or rejuvenate the mutant population with Terrigen crystals. Like, but then again, that's the crystals, that's not the mist. But even then, they were poisonous. They were harming people. Their effects vary on mutants, but some of them they kill them outright. Some of like he was using them on multiple mutants on Genosha, and some of them were poisoning mutants, some of them were killing mutants. And Magneto's the one that came and told Quicksilver that shit. So it's been established. It's been known for some time now. Like now and even in this series, they're stating that it's like, it might kill you, it might slowly poison you, it might do some weird shit, it might have you unaffected. Like even in this series, they state that the effects vary and they don't even know what the fuck it really does. It seems to be random. Like if you put it in a room with like 50 mutants, like 10 might be killed, 15 may be poisoned, and the rest of them niggas might be good. Like that's basically how they're trying to rationalize it. So it's really interesting. But Storm just basically goes to Medusa to basically like just gauge her and see if she really does have ill intention. And Medusa's just like, yo, I just want peaceful coexistence with everybody. I ain't trying to start no problem. Like, what's good with you, my nigga? Yo, if you really believe that I will let this Terrigen Mist fly around the crowd, if it really was harmful to Inhumans, like I wouldn't do that shit intentionally. Like, what the fuck, Storm? She's like, my nigga. And just before Storm leaves, Medusa's just like, yo, but between you and me, who else know about this shit? And she's like, yo, boy, Cyclops know about that shit, boy. Like, yo, you got some shit to worry about. So Medusa's like, ah, fuck. So, you know, right after, you know, no, well, this was during while Storm was there. I was gonna say after Storm left, but this was during Storm being there. She contacts Crystal, who in the first issue, I mean, if like, all right, so Crystal's team, if you're not reading any of the Inhuman series, Crystal's team is called the All New Inhumans, which is basically Crystal, Gorgon in the wheelchair, and a bunch of new humans. That's what they're calling the new Inhumans. So that's that team. They're called the All New Inhumans. And the reason she contacts them is because a Terrigen Mist Cloud was going to a place called Madrid. They don't really say where Madrid is located. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a dumbass. I don't know where Madrid is. If this Madrid is even a real place on planet Earth. So I don't know. But this Terrigen Mist was going to Madrid, and you know, so she's like, yo, stop that shit, fam. There might be some mutants in that area. And she's like, alright, Gooch, I don't know how we're gonna do that shit. I don't know how we're gonna, you know, because we don't know who, you know, the mutants are from who the mutants aren't. So, you know, Storm's like, you know what, we got you. I'm gonna send my boys over there, and I'm gonna go there myself. So Medusa's like, alright, cool. So when Storm leaves, she's like, yo, Storm is the homie and all of that, but we gotta prepare for war. I'm not looking for war, but I know some crazy nigga gonna come my way swinging. So, you know, she's like, alright, you know, and she's telling this to Black Bolt, and of course Black Bolt can't really respond, but Medusa always knows what he's saying anyway. So that's, you know, that's the case. But we go over to the X-Men, and Magic, we see that Magic is very skeptical of Cyclops and his decisions, because he makes a broadcast to the entire planet, right? Using it's a telepathic broadcast through the Stepford Cuckoos, and I know that's a fucking weird and crazy name, but hey, whatever. The Stepford Cuckoos and Emma Frost, using all of their combined telepathic abilities, they broadcast what Cyclops has to say in the minds of the entire planet. And, you know, Cyclops, and again, which is very annoying. I don't like neo-terrorism, fucking Cyclops, because I find them to just be a distasteful dick. Like what if I was just some dude that didn't give a shit about Inhumans or mutants, like, and this guy just hops on around, oh, the Inhumans lied to you. You know, they said the Terrigen Mist was harmful, but in the very air we breathe, this fucking toxic gas is coming everywhere to fucking bring death to, it brings death to mutants and blah 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 blah. I'm like, yo, like, dude, like what if I was just beating my dick in my room, and I just feel like I get a fucking vision of Cyclops, the Terrigen Mist, bruh. I'm like, nigga, I don't care. Like I'm trying to get my nut. Like that's just very, like, how much of a dick can you be? Like, how much an overbearing prick can you be? Like, you just thrust your message on the world and like, oh, sorry for the, you know, interruption. I'm like, nigga, like, no, like, you can't just thrust yourself on my mind. Like, dude. like, dude, like, imagine I'm like, yo, like, all kinds of shit, like, I'm taking a shit and Cyclops appears in my mind. That's gonna freak me out a little bit, man. But he basically, you know, broadcasts himself to the world, and that was basically his message, just to say that the Terrigen Mist is not what everybody thinks it is. It's harmful to mutants and non-Inhumans. And they're basically trying to spread this message that it's harmless, but that's not the case. And, you know, for the longest time, you hated and feared mutants, but it's the Inhumans you should really hate and fear. So after that broadcast, they're like Emma Frost and Cyclops, they're like walking away to like communicate with Magneto. That's the big reveal at the end of the issue. They're like, before they get into the facility where they could do it, Magic's like, yo, we need to talk though, and Cyclops is like, yo, like, not now, and like, and you know how Emma Frost, as of recently, is all over Cyclops' dick. Even after AVX, and like, even after everything that happened between them, she's still on his dick. But but when they go in the facility, like, and Magic's like, no nigga, we need to talk, like, and she's like, we said not now. I'm like, you didn't say anything, bitch. Hey, last time I checked, your name ain't Scott Summers, nigga. Like get the fuck off his dick. But anyway, there's people outside screaming and shit. I thought somebody was legitimately dying. I heard this fucking weird scream. I thought somebody was dying. But anyway, I mean, not that I would do shit about it anyway. Like, I'm sorry if you dying out there. I wasn't a witness. I didn't hear shit. I mean, well, fuck, damn it, I'm recording myself hearing shit. Fuck, I fucked myself. I mean, I don't know. Like, what's the law on that? Like, I'll be like, yeah, I heard some shit, but I don't know, my nigga. I wasn't gonna look. I was recording a podcast. Like, what's the law on that? Like, will I get charged with like oh, you knew a crime was happening and you? I'm like, nigga, for all I know, they could have been fucking each other in the ass, and it just could have been that amazing, like who knows? But anyway, I digress. Back to Death of X. So on Muir Island, it's pretty funny. That they're having like a sort of a memorial for Jamie Madrox, and they make a bunch of graves for like all the cloned bodies. I'm just like, this is pretty funny. Because it's like the cloned bodies, they didn't go away. They all died, and it's pretty fucking funny. And we see some X Factor affiliated characters. We see Strong Guy, he's there. We see Wolfsbane, Renee, she's there. Colossus and Kitty, they're there. So it's pretty. Some people come out to remember Jamie Madrox. So, but and this is how we sort of get to see the origin of Hank McCoy being on the Uncanny Inhumans. Because he basically stays with the team to understand how the Terrigen Mist affects humans. That's basically how that goes. But anyway, so going back to Madrid, Crystal and her all-new Inhumans team, the whole city is just going fucking bonkers. Like, it's fucking Ferguson after Mike Brown got shot. That's how fucking crazy it is down there. There's just like looting and all kinds of shit going. People just punching each other in the face for no fucking reason. Like, that's how it's just one giant mosh pit. But so Crystal tells the new humans to basically go down there, just try to calm the situation down. And ISO, now if you don't know who ISO is, she's basically an Inhuman that can control pressure. Like, she can increase pressure, decrease pressure. She can make you lightheaded. She can blow your head up, squeeze your dome. She could put enough pressure on your dome to make you go to sleep. She's kind of broken. She's kind of fucking broken. ISO's what's up. But it's Crystal. She's an elemental. You already know this. But the T cloud, the big Terrigen Mist cloud, it was very fucking huge for them. And ISO, what she was planning to do, I think she lowered the pressure enough so that the clouds would be easy to fucking move. But it worked a little bit, but ISO was saying, yo, we can't do this alone. Like, these clouds, they take up too much of a volume in the sky. We can't do this by ourselves. And that's when Storm comes in and makes a bunch of tornadoes and just fucking sends everything packing back to the other direction. Now with Storm, she's an upper tier elemental. Like, there's been controversy on her power level, because some people, like, there's sometimes they'll say like, oh, she's close to an Omega level, she might be an Omega, but there's nothing confirming, like, she's not straight up an Omega level mutant. At least the fucking consensus, like, on all official wikis and Wikipedia, she's not an Omega level mutant. But like they say that Storm is like scraping on the anus of being an Omega level mutant, but she isn't one. But she's if she's not, she's like again, she's scraping the anus. She's just licking the butthole of becoming an Omega level mutant. And so she's able to easily push back the clouds, generating some tornadoes. So part of the way Crystal runs the all new Inhumans team is I have a big problem with, because Crystal is a monumental dick face, right? She's a monumental dick face, and she's sort of like her leadership skills are sort of, she'll tell you only exactly what you need to know, which, mind you, that type of leadership has its place, but like she makes questionable decisions, and it really does fuck with me. It gets me tight. It gets me tight as a reader. It gets me tight, which I guess is good, because it sucks you into the story a little bit better. But it got me tight. Like this the new human that just showed up first issue, like, he has a suit and everything, but like, we don't know explicitly what his power set is, but they just chalk it up to him being able to make people go to sleep. Fine, sure, whatever. So while Storm and her team are there calming down Ferguson, is essentially, you know, Crystal is like, oh, perform your power and just make everybody in the city go to sleep. And he's like, what? He's like, first of all, I just got these powers, bitch. Second of all, I don't even know how they work like that yet. 3, aren't the fucking X-Men here? Like, don't you think they're gonna be fucking tight if I do that? And Crystal's like, nah, they won't give a fuck, do it anyway. And I'm just like, and like, I can't even call that bad writing, because Crystal has made calls like that before. That is, as opposed to Cyclops, this is completely within Crystal's character as of late. Like, if you've read All New Inhumans, this is completely within her character. Like, this and it gets me tight. I'm like, yo, I fucking hate Crystal, man. I can't stand her. Like, she's such a bitch. But because of that, Cyclops sort of spins the situation to make it seem like, oh, the Inhumans betrayed the X-Men. They betrayed them. They made them. They made them go to sleep. They don't really give a fuck about us. They just give a fuck about their own people. And you know, and like I said, at the end of the issue, they contact Magneto, and Magneto's just like, yo, I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help. We're like, yo, yo, I'm down. Let's fuck shit up, boy. Ride or die, you know. And you know, I'm surprised it didn't I'm surprised Magneto is not on the current, is not on not the current, but I'm surprised he's not. He hasn't been with Cyclops' Uncanny X-Force, Brian Michael Bendis team. I'm really surprised that I know he showed up in it like for a minute, but he was just doing his own thing in the Magneto Solo Dolo series. But you know, because again, Cyclops is essentially young Magneto. He's just young Magneto. Like, especially right now, he's young Magneto, and he's been slowly building towards that, and now he is that. So it's you know, it's pretty interesting. He's like, yo, I'm always happy to help, and that's how the issue ends. So you know, with this issue is a lot better than the first. It's solid. Like, I really like the one. Do I have a criticism? Nah. Talking about the art a little bit. Aaron Kruger's art. Like I was gonna mention this at the beginning. But Aaron Kruger's art, it's very it's great for high drama, and that's exactly what this is. This is the Days of Our Lives Mutant / Inhuman edition. And I don't like the way he draws action. His action is it's not the best, but I like his art for high drama. It's really interesting. Vibrant colors, detailed faces. I like it, but his action is weird. I don't like the way he draws action. And it's very short, but again, you know, like whenever he does draw like action, you know, or people using their power, again, it's short-lived because this is a mini. It's more story-driven than anything else because again, it's supposed to be filling in the gaps of what happened between issue 600 of Uncanny X-Men Brian Michael Bendis run and Extraordinary X-Men Jeff Lemire #1. It's supposed to fill in the gap of what the fuck happened and why Cyclops died. So, you know, it's pretty interesting to seeing these events unfold and this leading into IVX. So, you know, and then we have you know, if I could, you know, we've Resurrection is legit. You know, from before we only had little tidbits here and there, but Resurrection is legit. And Bleeding Cool just shared the article with yesterday, as a matter of fact, not yesterday, but the day Monday. Let's just say Monday. They shared an article with an Iceman series spinning out of Resurrection. We don't know which Iceman. We don't know if it's time displaced or our current Bobby. I don't fucking know. But that's interesting. I mean, like, what? I mean, an Iceman series? Like what is gonna be the main driving force behind an Iceman series of all things? What is gonna be the main driving force of that? I mean, trust me, you really don't need a story, but like it doesn't have to be story driven. But like, what is he gonna do? Just be Iceman? I mean, under the normal circumstances, that would be okay, but. I don't know, like I kind of need my Iceman to do shit these days. Like I don't know. That's just, you know, that's just me. I don't know about anybody else, but that's just me. I need my Iceman to do shit. You know, what are some of the mutants that we got running around? We got Magic. Well, Magic is far more interesting than Iceman because her power is literally to go to limbo. So, you know, you could run all types of courses with that. We got Colossus. He has his own set of plot lines and shit that happens to him. So we, you know, he was Juggernaut. We could bring Cytorag back. We could have all kinds of shit go down for Colossus. So there's that. You know, Jean. Oh my God, fucking Jean. So we could do something for Jean. Hank McCoy. I mean. I don't know. None of these series sound interesting to me. It's sad, but none of them. The only one I would read is Sabretooth. Is Anti-Hero Sabretooth. I've been wanting a solo of that like fucking forever. I've been wanting that. You know, like, but that's just me. But back to Aaron Kruger's art. It's not really suited for action. It's suited for high drama. So that's how the art works out in Death of X #2. As far as everybody else, Medusa, she's very diplomatic. I like the way Medusa's always really written coolly to me. I don't, again, like as a leader, like she's sort of I don't know, like it's like she sort of sucks, man. Like she as a leader, as a leader, she's really cool. Like she's very cool in that she's very strong, she's very smart, diplomatic. She always seems to know what to say. She's very high, almost ridiculously objective. It's crazy. But in terms of like powers and power, like she sort of sucks, man. Like she sort of sucks. Like on the cover of IVX, I think it's issue 0, we see like Storm and Medusa like coming, you know, head to head. I'm just like, what chance in hell does Medusa have? I'm like, she could do that thing. she did in the first Inhuman series by Charles Soule, like make hair armor around herself. But like, what is she, fucking Bayonetta? I don't know. She like what is she gonna do? She's gonna get fucked so hard. I don't know. I feel like the Inhumans are just gonna get bodied. I feel like they're just gonna get bodied. I don't know. Anyway. Point of this, I would urge you to stay away from DK3. It's not bad, you know. If you're really that interested, wait for the trade, which in all honesty might come out like fucking 5,000 years from now, the way the delays run on this series. But wait for the fucking trade. Don't pick it up single. Infamous Iron Man, pick that shit up. It's fucking amazing. And recommended reading for that series is the previous Iron Man series, when Iron Man was alive, and Death of X. If you're really into the whole narrative of what's going on right now with the X-Men and the Inhumans, if you really fuck with that, then you can read it. And that's my time. I'm fucking done. I'm going to fucking bed. You guys enjoy yourselves. I'm gonna go fuck off. Peace.